Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. Here with my guy, man, Kenny Stubblefield is in the building. Kenny, what's going on, brother?
My man, I'm still recovering from the other night, man.
Man,
still
I ain't
tired.
gonna lie. I'm my old ass, bro. It is Thursday night late when we're recording this. I called Kenny and said, bro, I totally forgot we ain't recorded today. Oh, man.
And I said, record what? What are you talking about? No, just
he was like, oh, shit.
oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I was out working at doing music bingo at Waldo's Chicken and Beer out in Cordova tonight, and came home. It was like, shit, man. I forgot I told Kenny we were recording after I get off work. So yeah. So we are here. How was your day, brother? Otherwise, other than being tired as shit, recovering like old ass men.
Hectic as hell, man. This obviously we can talk about it if you want to, but the PJ Haggerty, Dainja news, man, kind of sent everything into a swirl. Just crazy, man. Just crazy stuff.
For those of you who watch the show, and you don't have any you may not watch the other shows on Bluff City Media. You may think that Kenny is simply just the producer of this show. That's clearly not the case. Tiger basketball probably is more of a passion project of yours than the stuff you do for the Grizzlies. You definitely, it definitely seems to tax you more than the Grizzlies stuff does for sure.
It's Kenny, I'm gonna tell you, it's the drama, bro. It's the drama nonstop.
Oh yeah, it's so crazy.
And it's not even Penny Hardaway drama. It's just college basketball drama, right?
Because you used to have to deal with egos, just guys that were like top recruits, all these type of things, and fighting for playing time. And now you're dealing with little rich sorry dudes in college basketball. Little dudes who will never get a professional dollar in their life, but we're paying them like they're pros. They got like their dad as their agent, and
mid-level exceptions and stuff like that.
Yeah, these kids. I mean, bro, like. We'll talk about that later on in the second segment, this whole PJ Haggerty thing. And that shot I took was not at PJ Haggerty, even though I don't think he's really an NBA player either. But I feel no way about him leaving. Like, congrats to him, man, whatever he's doing. We'll get into that later on in the show. But I'm going to show you what has caused me the most frustration, Kenny Stubblefield, more than being tired in day 2 of recovery. Yes. From the Bluff City Media watch party we had, and it's gonna be even crazier tonight. It goes River. We got the overlay for you.
Yeah.
Tonight, April 18th, it goes River. The game is, of course, at 8:30. I think we're opening our doors at 7 there. I'm gonna be hosting music bingo that night as well as Ghost River. It goes River. That starts at 7 o'clock. Hope you guys come and stay for it all, man. I heard there's gonna be like a Memphis Showboats watch party or something going on at the same time. Yeah. So we're just going to have a ball, man. We're just going to have a good time out at Ghost River tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Make sure y'all come and check it out. Yep. We ain't got no swag and stuff to give away. We just got to come just for the fellowship of it all if you're coming tonight.
That's actually not true. There's some rumors we might have some tickets to give away.
Okay, cool. Hey, well, don't pay me no mind because Kenny, the big dog, didn't take care of business. But I'm gonna show you what has gotten on my nerves today. Kenny Stubblefield. 2 things have gotten on my nerves today. Number 1 is my kid, Gabriel Sain. Gabe goes to a Catholic school. Hey, this Easter shit ain't no joke of the Catholic school, bro. We ain't just taking off for Good Friday, man. This man had Good Friday Eve off, as well as the day after Thanksgiving is off at Gabe's school. They ain't playing about Easter at all, man. But so I'm riding in the car with Gabe, right? And 3-6 Mafia. No, I was listening to Travis Scott's, not the last album, but the one before that. It's got a lot of Memphis influence on it, right? A lot of, because they've got a song that's got a Tear the Club Up redoing of it, right? So I cut the original Tear the Club Up on for Gabe, and he was kind of feeling it. And then I played Who Run It, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the song. That's
right.
The song.
Song Who Run It. There's a part that says these people got plenty of ammo, but they ain't got plenty of guns, right? So I'm hyped. I said, Gabe, these folks ain't got no guns out here, Gabe. These folks ain't got no guns out here. And Gabe says, Dad, you are not about that life. Just stop, right? So I said, boy, don't make me reach. I said, maybe reach it back apart, you know what I'm saying? Pull that thing out, boy. He said, you talking about you reaching for a gun, ain't nothing there but gum and Tums.
Dog. Oh man, it's so tough when our kids check us, man.
Oh
Like,
man, who you telling?
Sayla gets at me every single day, man. Every single day.
Yeah, I already know. But I'm gonna tell you what's really pissed off my day, man.
What's that?
What
is this?
If we are giving away stuff at the watch party tonight, we will not be giving away this.
What the hell?
This joint didn't make the cut the other day. This is part of y'all giveaway, but no, it didn't make it. I took this shit. This is the grid, right?
I was wondering where that thing went.
I'm tell you exactly where it is at my house. 437 pieces, Kenny Stubblefield. This is where I am so far. Now I already can't see. Man, my eyes are so strained from fooling around with this crap, man. I'm almost man.
It's like a glitchy 3D wavy looking.
Yes.
Wow.
And the pieces are like super small. And Gabe dropped I think Gabe dropped one and it just totally disappeared into the atmosphere. So I'm still missing pieces, but I'm almost there, man. I'm almost there.
That looks crazy cool, man. Hey, shout out to the Grizzlies fan who would have gotten that the other night.
Who would have gotten this other night if I hadn't stolen it before it hit the table.
Hey, this is
if you're looking for the Grizzlies 30th anniversary watch, the white joint. I got
gone.
Gabe has it on.
Yeah. Oh man!
Shout out to all the people that came out tonight for sure.
Shout out to former Memphian, former Memphis 901 FC soccer player. What's his name? Knight Pickering. Yeah. Anthony's known for
taking shit that ain't
when he
supposed to go to
something
y'all.
He likes, he takes it. Like you can go back to the interview. You can go back to the episode with him and Knight Pickering talking. And
the shirt he had on in the interview was not the shirt he left out.
He did not leave with that shirt on.
Yeah, like, Gabe has that shirt too. I
love it.
There's a song that says, "Don't leave your girl around me. Don't leave shit around me, because I will. I don't kill, but I do steal, for sure." But but once again, thank y'all so much for coming out to the last watch party. It was absolutely incredible, man. Just a totally humbling day, man. I joked about the stuff I stole from y'all that was supposed to be for the people. Man, when I went to pick the stuff up from the Grizzlies, and the ladies at the front desk, she's like, "Can I help you, sir?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up a package for Anthony Sain." And she's like, "Man, you are." He said, "Yeah, of course you are." She said, "You're Anthony Sain." She said, "I absolutely love your show. I just finished listening to you on Jason and John. I listened to your podcast, and I know you talk about your daughter all the time, and going to school in Japan. And I told my grandson that he should look into it, because I heard Anthony Sain talking about it with his daughter." And she was just like dropping just quotables from the show. I was like,
wow,
fuck, man. Like, it was just overwhelming, the things the lady was saying to me. And then we get to the watch party, put names and faces, man. People been rocking with you forever, man. And it was just absolutely incredible. And to all the bros with Bluff City Media, if you never had that type of experience and people were walking up on you, I just hope that everybody understood the importance of that, man. Like how big of a deal it is for people to say that they take time out of their day to listen to you or to watch you. I hope that the guys enjoyed that whole experience, man. Because like I said, it was great, man. Because there were people there who know me from Jason and John's show, but haven't seen the podcast, and they're like, "Man, I've never seen you before. Like, but I know your voice. But it's good to finally meet you." And my guy, I can't think of his name. He says, "Oh man, I thought you were short, big dog." Like I'm what? Like I'm sitting in a chair, but like, what makes y'all think that I'm short? Like I never understood why people said it. But
I blame the studio. I blame the studio setup. The way the studio, when we had the studio, it was the angle in which your chair was. It made you look small.
Like a wee man. Okay.
Like a little wee man.
I'm 6'3", man. I've been there. If you need evidence, go look at the picture that's on the Bluff City Media Twitter from the watch party. And you see former NBA player Brevin Knight, and I'm taller than him. And you see, he was at least a 6'1", 6'2" guard. So you can see I'm taller than him. Hey, we might be the tallest media publication in the history of anybody. Like most people who cover sports, they're shorter guys. Like we've got 6'7" guys that are 6 feet and above, like for real. And you got guys like Greer, who's, me and Greer like the same height. You're tall. Rusty Bucket seems like he's fucking 6'8" sometimes. Brawny, the fucking paper towel man looking man. Lumberjack looking man.
Lumberjack.
Yeah.
Sasquatch looking.
Yeah, sexy Sasquatch looking ass, man. Man.
And then you got Drew Gann, and then you got Uncle Buck.
Oh man, my boy Uncle Buck. Because when I saw Rusty walk past me, I was like, "Hey, who is this little kid?" Rusty got him. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Drew." Little kid with a fucking Vancouver jacket on. But yeah, man. Hope you guys had a great time at the event for sure, man. It was great, man. Just seeing the entire Bluff City Media crew. Then we had our people, our non-podcast contributors like Shamaria Wiseman. She was there. Zay, he was there. It was just
Roman
great, man. Roman Cleary was in the building.
there.
Not too much on Roman was in the building, man. But yeah, we got to run it again tonight. Check it out. I'll be hosting Music Bingo. Shout out to my boy Kevin Cerrito, man, partnering with us on this event, helping us out with the marketing, man. My guy, Kevin Cerrito. I do work with him with Cerrito Entertainment, where we do trivia and music bingo throughout the city. Go to the website CerritoEntertainment.com to check out where we're doing those type of things. I will be. It just happened to play out this way. This is Ghost River is one of the places where I work at, and this happens to be a night that I'm working. So I'll be over there doing music bingo before the game starts. I'll transition over, soon after the game begins. But it's going to be a great night at Ghost River tonight on the address is 8307. Is that what it is?
I think
I'm sorry, 820. I just put a whole too many numbers in there.
Right.
827 South Main Street. Come check it out. Might be some giveaways. We're working on it as we speak. But come check it out, man. It was so fun. And it's like if I was sitting there watching that game at the house, I probably would have been depressed. But I had so much fun just being out with fans, just having a good time, man. It was great.
Man. The energy was wild. The energy was wild.
Just Brevin Knight just sitting outside watching the game like he's on the couch at home.
Dude, it is so crazy because I felt his energy. He's like me. I don't watch games with a bunch of people. Like it's really strange. Like, and I'm usually in my office or on my couch watching
super solo. Yeah.
Super solo. Like, don't talk to me during games, right? And Brevin was that way. Brevin was at the party. There was hundreds of people in the other room, and he's sitting out there
like he's at the house.
like this, watching the game. I was like, you good, bro?
Cool and cordial with everybody, man. Like, like seeing people who like want to take pictures with us and shit. I was like, man, like I just hope to all my brothers at Bluff City Media that you understand those type of moments are crucial, man. Like for sure. Yeah. For sure. But thank y'all for coming out. Like I said, come out again tonight. Glad you guys were able to come out. Just run it back one more time, man. If this is the final game of the season, hey, let's have a bang, baby. Let's have a good time, bro. Let's have a good time. But
if the Grizzlies lose, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a bet right now. I'm gonna make a wager. If they lose, we're gonna have karaoke after the game. Me and Anthony are gonna do a karaoke song.
I'm gonna do something anyway.
You're gonna do something anyway. Me and Anthony are gonna do a karaoke song after the game if the Grizzlies lose.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still gonna do karaoke. They typically do it right after bingo. So I don't know if they're gonna crank it up because you're talking about starting karaoke at like 11 o'clock. So I don't know if they're still gonna do it.
We're still,
but
gonna
they
do
might. It might be going. They might run it for the people who want to do it while the game's going on. So I might slide back and forth. Bro. I ain't gonna lie, depending on how that John looking. But let's talk some basketball, man. Let's talk some basketball. The Grizzlies are playing the Dallas Mavericks, and of course they're playing the Dallas Mavericks. I heard people talking about worrying about Sacramento. I was like, nah, Dallas gonna win the game, and they did. Klay Thompson turned back the clock, several clocks. He had a big game, big second quarter, I believe, for Klay Thompson. Anthony Davis played like a man on a mission. And I'm pulling for him, man, because he's got, I get it. Everybody, the whole Luka trade, all those type of things. But I'm an AD guy. I've always been a fan of Anthony Davis's game. One of the reasons why I like Jaren so much, I would love him to get to the point where he's that Anthony Davis type player. But it's going to be a war tomorrow, man. Anybody who thinks it's going to be an easy game is not going to be. That team is very good defensively, even shorthanded. They're very good defensively, and I think we're going to pull that game out tonight. But it's not going to be an easy run at all. I think if anything gives us an advantage, their backcourt is because I think Klay Thompson was running the point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I think that if we can kind of defensively attack that, maybe it'll be a good thing. And I think they'll have a hard time containing Ja. I think it's going to have a hard time doing that.
If Ja's available to play.
If Ja's available, yeah, for sure. If he is available to play, I hope that this is a game where he won't have to just go super hard. But we'll see. We'll see as far as that whole thing goes. But I'm gonna talk about something else, Kenny Stubblefield. A major topic when it comes down to this is, should the Grizzlies try to win this game tomorrow night, or should they intentionally tank this game to get their pick back, which would be, I think, 17 or something
14.
like that?
14.
14? No, we wouldn't be the.
It'd be 14.
Yeah, top 14 pick. Let's talk about it. What do you do? Do you play to win the game, or do you intentionally lose the game so you can get your pick back from Washington,
right?
Which would be a lottery pick because you didn't make the playoffs. Let's talk about it. First of all, I'll say this: going out there and tanking a postseason game is egregious. Like, that whole concept is egregious. My thing is, go out there and play basketball, and whatever happens, happens. If you lose, because I don't like intentionally going out there and losing on purpose isn't the only scenario that will make us get the 14th pick. We could very well go out there to play these boys.
They could just lose this game.
We could just lose the game. Just go out there and play basketball, bro. Play to win and see what happens. Yeah. Because my thing is, I'm hearing people say, had this conversation with Jason Smith, and I'm gonna talk about something else that Jason said on the air. But I had this conversation with Jason, and I said, he was talking about, I said, okay, so help me on it, because he's all about screw the game, get the pick, screw the playoffs. Who wants to lose to Oklahoma City Thunder these many times, whatever. And my whole thing to that is, because I said, okay, so why do y'all want to do that? Because y'all talking about we tripling down, doubling down on you, so why do you want to get younger? He was like, no, take the pick and trade it, add to GG and trade it. I'm like, man, here's my whole thing with it. First of all, I think GG Jackson is going to be a great player in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I think that you're just going to have to wait him out, because I think he's had some goofy stuff that's happened that was GG stuff, and just goofy stuff that happened to him, unfortunate injuries, all those type of things. So I think GG is going to be a good player in the league. And I think that you're taking a tremendous risk, bro, if you're talking about trading GG, because GG's contract is small. And let's say you're talking about adding like a John Conchar or whatever. You're talking about trading, I want to say GG's contract might be $4 million or something like that.
$4 million.
So let's say you get this $10 million package, including GG Jackson, and you trade the 14th pick in that as well. That's a lot you got going out, especially if GG hits, bro. Like, if GG hits somewhere else and you trade the 14th pick and that player hits, and you get Nickeil Alexander-Walker in a signing trade. I mean, like, you know what I mean? What do you – is this – I mean, I get it. And here's the thing. People talk about this team needs vets, right? They need adults out there and all these type of things. I get that in theory. But when it comes down to, like, time to win a basketball game, 4 of those spots you're talking about are probably already accounted for, yes. Right? And that's Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, and the guy who had 14 and 17 in his first major basketball, in his first major, okay, this shit is for real basketball game, after being fucked around the entire season until 9 games left in the season. They say, okay, you know what? Let's try to develop this Zach Edey kid. Let's try to develop our 9th pick, see how that turns out.
Right.
So those 4 guys on the court, those vets you're talking about, where are they playing? Is that 5th player one of these vets we're gonna go get? Because people say they need some vets. They need to just get rid of all those dudes, right? Just redo the whole bench, whatever you gotta do. And like I said, I get that frustration. I get what makes people say those type of things. But at the end of the day, man, I think the conversation has to be: are the guys that we know are gonna be on the court, are those guys good enough? Because it's like everybody's like, oh, get these guys some help. Get them some help. Like, bro, there's only 5 dudes going to be on the court. And when it comes down to winning time, those dudes going to be playing 35, 40 minutes a game like they did the other night, right?
Right.
So it's like, if you want to question if those guys are good enough, or if those 3 make sense, I will have that conversation with you. Matter of fact, I'll have it with you now. There are some things about the Grizzlies' big 3 that are criticisms that need to be part of an open conversation. Number 1, the best player on your team is 6'3". He's not an overly strong guy. He's not a very good shooter at all. His game is mostly getting to the basket, floaters, and he's getting his mid-range game off. That's not a championship winning formula. He can't defend. He's not a good defender. And he's had a history of injuries. That's one thing to talk about. Your shooting guard also can't defend. He's a scorer. He's a shooter. He can dribble okay sometimes. He has a very short wingspan. So that backcourt has to have another guy on the court that can defend. Whether that's a Jalen Wells, whether that's a whatever we thought Vince Williams was, whether that's a Marcus Smart, whether that's a Jake LaRavia, whether that's a Cam Johnson, whether that's a Dorian Finney-Smith. That third guy has to be a guy that can defend because your backcourt can't defend nobody. You can't put them when you're playing a team like the Miami Heat. I'm sorry, not the Miami Heat, like the Golden State Warriors. You see a lot of defensive deficiencies just because of the way our roster is construed.
Right.
And this is why I have these conversations where I say if G.G. Jackson develops to be a guy that's a 15 to 20-point scorer per game, and Jalen Wells is a 3-and-D guy, it makes more sense for Desmond Bane to come off the bench because defensively you'd have a lineup that makes more sense for today's NBA. And you won't have lineups where you have to put Zach Edey on Jimmy Butler. And let's talk about that as well. Jaren Jackson Jr. came up short the other night against the Golden State Warriors. I want to say he had maybe 18 points, but it was a very inefficient 18 points. Yes. And Jaren just didn't look like he wanted that shit. He didn't like he wanted no part of it. The conundrum about a Jaren Jackson Jr., especially in what we seem to be a Tuomas Isolo offense, Jaren's not the guy setting screens, right? So your two-man actions are Zach Edey and Ja. But Edey's not the guy who's ready to play that type of game with Ja. He's not the guy he sets the screen, but it's the part, okay, he rolled, but I can't really give it to him because he don't really know what he's doing. And, you know what I mean? Because we had this conversation. We talked about how when it comes down to setting screens, it's not just the action of setting the screens, but it's what does he do after he's released from the screen? Like, is he able to? And that's still that part is still something that Edey's learning how to do, right? It's something that in college is not as obvious. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, look like he knows what to do. When he gets around pros, you can see that he's struggling in those areas, right?
Yep.
But you look at Jaren, when you have a center who you're playing in drop coverage, and your power forward is 7 feet tall, and most teams aren't playing a true big at all, and they're definitely not running two bigs with a 7'4" guy and another power forward. That's when you have situations where Zach Edey has to guard Jimmy Butler, and Desmond Bane has to guard whoever the hell he was guarding. You know, Moses Moody and Ja's guard. You know, whatever. And you have these weird things you have to do defensively just to compensate for how weird your starting lineup is, right? Like your starting lineup doesn't groove with today's NBA. And if you want to ask the question, does it make sense to work those guys the way you work them, or use them the way you use them? That's something going into the offseason is going to be a major question. Do I think that these three guys who are great individual talents, do I think that they can get together and be a team where they are the leaders of this team and they can lead whatever the guys are? Because I get all this stuff we talk about, we need vets. But if those three guys ain't right, all that stuff don't matter, bro. Cam Johnson being on this team don't matter if Ja, Jaren, and Dez ain't on the same page. Dorian Finney-Smith being on this team don't matter. Marcus Smart being on this team don't matter. Jake LaRavia being on this team don't matter if those three guys don't work. And it's questionable, man. Like, and going into the off season, whether it's Tuomas Isolo, whether it's whoever, Mike Brown or whoever, James Brown or whoever, they'll have to find a way to make all three of those guys make sense offensively and defensively. Because right now, it's weird. It's weird, man. Because like you've got, if Edey is your guy, if Edey is your center in today's NBA, there's typically not another big out there. It's not another Jaren Jackson Jr. type big out there. It's like if, the Clippers, they got Ivica Zubac, right? I want to say Kawhi is the 4. So Jaren has to guard Kawhi. Either Jaren or Edey's going to guard, Kawhi. And those type of things, it's questionable, man. Actually, whether those things work or not. But I'm going to talk about one more thing, then we're going to take a break and talk about some of this University of Memphis stuff. I've seen a lot of people saying, let's get rid of Zach Kleiman, right? Cool. Let's get rid of Zach Kleiman, whatever. Let's hire this hard-nosed coach, right? This fiery coach is going to light into Ja's ass and get these guys in line, right? I'm just gonna say this, and we'll take it to the break. This is something I'll talk about once the season is actually over as well. But sometimes, man, let me see if I can think of an analogy. Sometimes, man, you can have company over all the time, and you might have company on the way. As a man, right? Let's men. If some girl says she's on the way over, man, we could clean that house in 5-10 minutes, right? You know what I mean? Like we can clean the house and get it tight real quick.
American Squiddy, you, Jimmy Harden. Oh man.
But I can hear whatever you playing. But
I didn't. My phone went crazy. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. But if that girl keeps coming around, if she stays a little bit longer, she'll realize, damn, this motherfucker got a pile of dirty clothes stuck up on his bed. All this stuff he's kicked up under, right? Zach Kleiman is the GM who can kind of tolerate our nastiness, right?
Yeah.
But if you bring some new dude in, I guarantee you, all these GMs y'all are talking about, the first order of business is going to be to trade Ja Morant. Like when they had these conversations about anonymous GM saying this, Zach Kleiman is the one who's stepping up for Ja. Like, nah, this is my guy. Maybe to a fault over the years, right? Maybe there's things about Ja that he's kind of, let kind of fester or let be or whatever. But how do we know the next person who comes in is going to value Ja Morant like that or going to want to tolerate this stuff with Ja?
Yep.
How do we know the first order of business ain't going to be, let's get this dude up out of here?
Yep.
I'll trade him for whatever, right? And how we know that the next GM who comes in is like, hey, Robert Parra, why the hell are we in Memphis? Like, how do we know, bro? Like, these are things you have to consider when you're like, okay, let's move on from this GM. Because as you can see, bro, guys are doing all kind of stuff we thought we'd never see. There's all kind of wild, weird shit going on as far as trades are concerned. And if a GM looks in, he's like, okay, if he identifies Ja as a guy who, if he starts seeing Ja like 80% of these other people see Ja in the world, probably, how we know that we're not going to trade Ja Morant. Now, if you think Ja needs to be moved, that's a whole totally different conversation. Same thing with a coach, man. Let's say you approach just got fired from Denver, Mike Malone, right?
Yep.
Let's say you approach Mike Malone. You say, Mike, we got a so and so offer for you, or you approach whoever, Jay Wright or whoever, or Stan Van Gundy or
Sam Cassell,
whoever.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I would love the job, man, but I'm not fucking with that Ja Morant kid y'all got. I'm not dealing with it. I need a kid who's focused on basketball, right? Now, this ain't my take. Y'all know I love Ja. I'm just saying, everybody don't look at Ja like we look at Ja, bro. A lot of people look at Ja like an unnecessary nuisance. Like they look at him like he's just doing too much. Like his kid is not focused on basketball. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that these things are going to happen, but keep those things in mind.
Yeah.
Like there are people who Tomas Islo, I believe, loves Ja Morant. I think you thought we talk about Agent Coles in the Captain America, right? I think that he's a fan of Ja Morant's game. I think that he believes that Ja Morant his offense is built perfectly for Ja, right?
Yeah.
Zach Kleiman clearly is, but I will say, man, that this team's issues, including Zach Edey not being ready for the playoffs, those things ultimately fall on Zach Kleiman. Shout out to my boy Jason Smith. This is what he talked about that you really have to take a hard look at. If you hired your coach last summer, if Tomas Islo was your guy, you should have got Taylor Jenkins up out of here because this caused so much bullshit, man.
Yep.
And these guys, like we talked about, have been dealing with something, all this turmoil, all this bullshit going on in the background that's distracting them from actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is go fucking play basketball.
Right.
And we haven't been able to do that.
Right.
It made Ja Morant weird. It made all kind of things have been crazy. Like the fact that 9 games left into the season, now it's time to, and we were surprised that Zach Edey was looking goofy and still finished with 14 and 17. You know what I mean? So, like I said, Zach, you have to take that, man. Like if there's any criticism, I'll jump in about him. I'll take that for sure. The stuff about who he traded for and didn't trade for and moves it didn't make, I'm not really tripping about none of that type of shit. Because like I said, I think we've got a nice young core of dudes. If you want to do some things around the edges, you're pretty much going to have to. Something's going to have to happen. I don't think Luke Kennard is going to be here this year. I don't know what they're going to do with Santi. So you're probably going to have to do something, other than just promote Cam Spencer up. I do think that this team, and I'll say this, I believe in Jalen Wells. I believe in Zach Edey. I believe in G.G. Jackson, even as wild and buck wild as this season has been. I'm not really sure where I'm at with Vince. And I've made the injury excuse for G.G. this year. But if you think about it, Vince Williams has missed a lot of time with injuries in the short time he's been here with the Grizzlies. So I'm not really sure. His season feels a lot more like a mirage than Gigi's did, because Gigi been killing like this his entire life. He's been a high-level player. And I think that those things will continue to translate as his career goes on. But I don't know about Vince. I don't know if it's all the injuries with him. But he could very well prove me wrong.
He could. I mean, I think I think it's going to be. I want the Grizzlies to play as long as possible this season.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Keep playing.
Go hoop.
Get those playoff scars, man. You got to have them. Mm-hmm. You got to have that scar tissue to be able to keep moving on. But you almost have to wonder if just everybody getting away for a little while and kind of resetting.
They need a reset, bro.
And coming back to I have a perfect analogy about it. I was told when I moved over out of the country, I was told, he said, this place is not going to feel like home until you leave and you go out of town and you come back. Right? Mm-hmm. Like the first time you leave this new place that you're in, this country that's completely different from anywhere you've ever lived,
mm-hmm.
you leave and then you come back home, then it feels like home. And I experienced that multiple times where I was like, didn't feel comfortable in a place, and then I would leave and then come back on a quick little vacation, do something, come back, and then I would come in and be like, I'm home now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that's kind of where as crazy as it sounds, like this team needs a hard reset in terms of just being home, right? Like just letting normal be normal. Like let the craziness of this season flush itself out of your system, get away, go hang out with the people you love, come back home, and then start training camp all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Man, there was some crazy stuff. You got to think about it, man. The image of Ja wearing the shiesty mask, looking crazy on the sideline, that happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's turned into the Ja we see now, who's, Ja who was answering the questions crazy and arguing with people about Twitter shit and all of that. That happened this year, bro. Like that happened this season, right?
Like,
and and guys who you thought were going to be good, who weren't good, and guys who started off good. And like, I remember having conversations with people saying like, why would you trade, like saying you can't be serious. You would trade Santi Aldama for Cam Johnson. I was like, yes, bro, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, he's like, Santi's better than him. I was like, bro, like what? Like that happened, bro. Like those that happened this year, bro. Like that happened this season.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's been a long year. I wanted to keep going. But if this shit ended tonight, bro, I would sleep well. I would be like, all right, man, like we needed this season. Like this is a season. Like normally, like if it's a bad season, like last year we was like, man, wrap this shit up, man, because we're tired of watching this. Like for us, the fans, the media, right? The season with all the injuries. But with this season, it's like, man, wrap it up for the guys, man. Let them get a chance to start over, because they've gone through a lot of shit this season. Well, okay, we're about to take a break, man. When we come back, we're going to talk some Tiger basketball stuff real quick, man. A lot of stuff going on in the past 24 to 48 hours with Penny Hardaway's University of Memphis team. And, man. I'll share some things that's going to sound a lot like the stuff I say about the Grizzlies as well. We'll talk about that and more when we come back with more of the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
What's been the overarching take of why Memphis never got to where they wanted to go, dating back to the 90s and the early 2000s? Didn't invest enough in football.
Right.
Now you invest enough in football and everybody's questioning themselves like, is it worth it?
Yeah. You've got to be able to figure out a way to uplift your football program to make it more attractive to these larger conferences without risking hurting the one program It literally has the most famous Memphian of all time coaching.
Sure, I get it.
Like
I
that-
understand that, but I don't think they're like bankrupting the basketball program to pay
Right.
football. I don't think that's how that works. A lot of that narrative that you sort of pressed out is because of the generational tie that some Memphis fans have to the basketball program that they don't have to the football program.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Jaren had kind of a roller coaster game.
Yeah, another player I thought there was a lot more thinking than just feeling the game and playing. And then give Golden State credit because they brought double teams from different angles, from different places. It wasn't just the straight double team here. They came baseline. They used smalls. They fought, but he made another one with timely baskets, and that's and timely plays on the other end with rebounds or hustle. Like they just needed it to be more consistent with that type of game.
Right.
Playing against that type of opponent if you expect to win. Nobody played bad. It's just how good you have to be able to win in those environments against that type team that executes, and they're going to make sure that they get what they want at those times.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Man, just sitting here listening to our podcast brother, Brevin Knight, talking, man, about the game of the night. If you've never talked basketball with Brevin Knight, come to the watch. I don't know if he's gonna be there tonight or not, but
he's gonna be at the game.
He's gonna be working. He's gonna be working the game.
Yeah,
but yeah, you missed the opportunity to have a chop shop with just a great basketball mind. And I'm sitting there watching that joint. Shout out to my boy Chris Ingram, man. Just take the job. Like, come coach the team, man. Come get on the bench or get a front office job, something, Brevin Knight.
Man, it is like sitting with him and Rob before the podcast. So we do a lot of talking before we record Night Court, and just listening to him talk basketball is like a fire hydrant of information, bro. It's so
man.
crazy.
If I was Stanford, I don't know who their coach is, but I would be like, come on back home, man, for sure.
Hey, by the way, I got a really cool.
You just killed my transition, kid. I had a classic with, man. I had a classic with, man. Let me get the transition out, then I'll let you go back. It was gonna be so cold. I said Stanford should reach out to Brevin Knight, right? I'm gonna say, speaking of guys who were a school's favorite son who went back. Oh man, that shit gonna be clean. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It still was clean. It was still better than 99.9% of anybody else's transitions. I'm gonna tell you that.
I had a good one, but y'all saw this shit. Y'all saw this shit, man. Go ahead, kid.
I stepped on you, man. My bad. I want to give a big shout out. It is Easter weekend, right? Good Friday. This comes out on Good Friday. I want to shout out all the everybody knows the Marvin Sapp story, right? Like what happened to close the door. Have you seen that? Close the doors. Close the doors.
Of course I've seen it. In the church buffoonery. I like to watch it.
You know, he put out a post today and he said, this season has been a season of judgment and misinformation and malignment, and I feel like I was made for this season, and so because of that, this song has become my anthem. And he wrote a song called "Close the Door" because Jesus closed the door on the grave. Sorry.
Nuts. There's also another holiday happening this Sunday, Kenny Stubblefield.
What's that?
It's a day to commemorate those who participate in what's the word? What's the fancy word for smokers, man? For you smoke weed, 420. It's on Easter. I saw a post that said, "I'm trying to see who's the most high, me or Jesus." Oh man, but yeah, Coach Penny Hardaway, man. The last few days, I look up. They signed a dude, man. They signed a dude, right? Some dude, right? A kid from Temple or something like that, right?
He's been here. They signed a guy named Zachary Davis from South Carolina.
No, I ain't through, man. Then they signed another dude today, Zachary Davis. Oh shit, Penny got this shit together, right? Like, oh shit. Penny got a dude from South Carolina, SEC kid, right?
Yep.
I'm listening to him on Jason John's show. He's like, man, I was a point guard coming out of high school, 6'7". I can play 1 through 4. I can do this and this and this. And y'all know my thing when these guys, I hear the descriptions of these guys, right? Okay, bro, why that dude ain't in the league? Because the guy he described, like you just described that kid who beat us for Colorado State. And I ain't gonna lie, if the Grizzlies do keep their pick, go get that dude, man. I like that dude for sure. Anyway. But like they signed this dude, right? And then I'm like, okay, man, Penny got this shit together, bro. Like I'm listening to Jason John talk and I'm seeing Roman, talking this stuff about the kid, you talking about the kid, whatever. And then it's like, oh shit, man, the floodgates open. It's PJ Haggerty is gone. He's in the transfer portal. Dainja's in it. Then he ain't in it. And he's like, oh, y'all hold up and all that. And I'm just gonna say this, man. We're gonna wrap this up because I'm tired. I'm gonna say this, and I'm pretty much gonna leave it alone. NIL seems like a horrible investment, bro. Like, especially when you're paying guys more than they're ever gonna see in their lives. For guys that are like future pros or guys who are one and done type dudes, I can see spending millions of dollars to get these kids to come to your school. Because even in that 1 year, they can do some really impactful shit. This is not a knock at PJ Haggerty, bro. But why the hell are we paying PJ Haggerty crazy money? Like, I mean, and I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good player. He's a freaking, All-American. So he's clearly very good at what he does. But what is he doing that's going to affect the University of Memphis bottom line to the point where you're paying millions on top of millions of dollars to these dudes? And I'm not just talking about him. I'm just talking about across the board. Like it's like for what, man? And my thing is, I'm not the guy who's like has these championship expectations for Penny. I just want them to like look like they're too good for their conference. I just want that to be a consistent annual thing where they just always look better than their conference. And when they get to the tournament, whatever happens, bro. Like I know that's kind of trash expectations for that team, but I just think we're in a weird time, bro. And I've heard the stuff about the money allocations for NIL and football's getting this. And I saw the clip of you and Gabe Kuhn talking about this type of stuff. Man, I'm like, I do not see a realignment happening anytime soon. I do not see us ever cracking that code, bro. We are in SEC country, fan wise, and I think the stadium's gonna be dope. The football stadium's gonna be cool. Chris Brown concert is gonna be here this year. I don't know where they are as far as construction. I don't live out that way anymore, so I haven't seen anything as far as I haven't even seen people talking about it as far as the construction goes. But I hate to sound like the old man because this is a very year 2005 take. But bro, put everything into basketball and just be a really dope basketball school, bro. Like even if whether that's a team that's actually making real noise in the tournament or not. But I know I'm kind of talking on both sides of my mouth. One side I'm like, bro, why are we paying this kind of money for NIL? And then the second point, I'm like, well, put all the money into basketball, right? But it's like I just don't understand how to navigate as a fan through college basketball right now. Because it's like, I love that these guys are getting paid, but the structure they have is just so goofy that it's like, you'll never. Bro, you want me to give you a prime example of how goofy this stuff is with like the NIL and transfer portal?
Let me hear it.
Penny Hardaway's son left Memphis, went to another school, and now he's back in Memphis, bro. Like, it's just all awkwardly strange. Like it's just super weird that these guys are, and people are like, oh, it's like NBA free agency. No, this is wilder than NBA free agency because there's not a situation in the NBA where every dude on your team is subject to leave and go somewhere else. Like there's nothing comparable to that in the NBA. And you can literally do that, man. You have no attachment to guys, and guys get bad advice and whatever. And as a parent, my thing is, if Gabe was a top level prospect, but I didn't think he was going to be a pro, I was like, boy,
go get your money. I
was like, hey, go play for Hawaii where you live on a beach, right? Like, go to USC, go to UCLA, go spend a semester in New York and go get you a slice of pizza and a glizzy. Like, go to Florida. Like I would go to a different school every year, man. Like, whatever. Like go to Denver, whatever, where it's cold and whatever. I would go play 4 years in 4 different schools. But because it's so buck wild, man. And just to bring it back to PJ Haggerty and Dainja, I don't knock those guys for what they're doing, but I think on the Dainja thing, like he hadn't even been cleared to even get another year.
Right.
So it's like it is kind of is what it is. And I'll say my final thoughts, and I'll let you have it because I know you can talk about this way better than me. But my thing in the nutshell is I'm not tripping about the PJ Haggerty thing because guess what? I had no fucking clue who PJ Haggerty was when we signed him. Hey, okay, cool. What does he do? All right, bet. I asked you, who is this kid? He's fine. He's kind of a poor man's Chris Douglas Roberts. All right, sign me up. And I think 95% of the people, including the blue-haired, I drink blue Tiger fans, had the same idea of who PJ Haggerty was. And I think that it's probably going to be another dude that's cold this year on our team that we ain't never heard of or don't know nothing about. That's kind of what college basketball is. I wish him the best. Very likable kid. He ain't like the dude we had a couple years ago.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. No. He ain't him. I can't think of that dude's name. Same thing with Dain. David Jones. Same thing with Dain. Good kid. Didn't know who he was. He just thought he had a cool name, and that's it. I didn't know nothing about him. Yeah. So I trust that Penny's going to put another good team together. That's all I got. I give it to you, bro.
Yeah, NIL is just such a wild thing. I cover.
I ain't mad at him though. I ain't mad at him.
No, not at all. I cover it. I'm around it, so it's not as abnormal to me as it is to most. Right, the way that these numbers get kind of tossed around. What is abnormal to me? I'm not a massive NFL football fan. Like I like it. I don't have a team. Like I'll watch it, but I don't have a team that I root for. And so I have zero rooting interest in terms of roster constructions for these NFL football teams. At the beginning of the season, of the NFL football season, I was on with Gabe Kuhn and Christian Fowler on the Bluff, and we were talking about a quarterback, and I cannot remember who the quarterback was, but this guy, he's a quarterback who had average numbers, right? Just decent numbers, was decent player, just wasn't a cut above the rest. He wasn't a Tom Brady-esque guy. He wasn't a Pat Mahomes guy. Those kind of numbers. And he got paid an absurd amount of money. And I asked the question, I said, why? Like, why is this NFL franchise feel obligated to pay this money? And the response that I got from both of those guys, who are monster NFL guys, who list that they have teams that they root for, they know ins and outs of roster construction and NFL football teams. They said, because you have to. Like to win a game, to win in the NFL, you have to pay a quarterback. You cannot let them leave.
Yeah.
And so the numbers that these NFL quarterbacks are getting, even if they're just mid at best, is absurd. And that's kind of what NIL is in a lot of ways. Like NIL is the perfect encapsulation of American capitalism. Like the market dictates the value, right? And so when a guy like, why aren't you getting that money in the NBA? I understand that. Like you can say as an NBA guy, Anthony, you look at PJ Haggerty's game and you say there are a lot of flaws to his game, right? Like in terms of how he would translate as an NBA guy, which is most of these dudes' ultimate dreams is to make it to the NBA. But as a guy who covers the NIL scene a lot, who's in that space, who understands that space, the market determines the value of the player, and these numbers are absurd. Right? These numbers are unbelievable. And so
there's no way it's going to keep climbing. No way it's going to keep climbing.
If you want to field a team that can compete in today's age, in today's era of college basketball, you've got to be willing to pay these guys what the market says they're worth. And we can sit here and both of us can be old men about it and say, man, like that, back in my day, like that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it just is what it is. This is the era in which we are in. And I do find it hilarious that, this whole Dainja thing is hilarious, right? Like his mom comes out, talks to Jason Munz. Shout out to Jason Munz for getting that talk with, or the interview with his mom. She comes out and she's like, don't listen to anybody else talking about Dain. Listen to me, right? Like I'm a I'm a loyalty person. All you folks who are now offering him all this kind of money, like y'all jumped on the bandwagon after Penny believed in him. We're not going anywhere. You never know. But again, he doesn't have eligibility. So it's like, what a crazy day for Memphis Tiger basketball fans. Just wild.
I just ain't been tripping about it, man, because I'm like, at the end of the day, Penny's going to get some dudes, and they'll be fine. He seems like he's got this recruiting thing down as far as the type of guys he needs, and some big-name kids. That kid from South Carolina seems like a hooper, like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine. I think you recruit these guys. I think a lot of the guys he's recruited and has gained commitments from are guys that you would put around. They're the Santi Aldama, the Vince Williams, the Gigi Jacksons, the Jalen Wells around the big three, right? And so losing Dain, losing PJ, potentially Dain, losing PJ, even though both of them have come out and said, like, my decision's not made. I'm leaving the opportunity to come back. You're going to hear PJ entering his name into the draft process soon. He also came out today and said, yeah, I could come back to Memphis, but we'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
We'll see.
And hopefully we'll see y'all, man, tonight. Ghost River Brewing Company, man. Pull up on us. Old Dominic going to be in the house. Good food. New World Wings from New World Order is going to be there. Get there early, play a little music bingo with me. Then when the game kicks over, we'll slide over to do that. It's going to be a good time tonight, man. It's going to be a good time tonight. And if we lose, we get to lose together, y'all.
Let's lose together.
Let's lose together. But if not, we'll be winning. We'll win and we'll celebrate getting on the road, going to face Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the playoffs. If we can pull out that win tonight. Ooh. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But for Kenny Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. We'll see y'all next week, man, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.